if you talk to businesses every day of your working life, they are all saying they're dealing with labour shortages. So how important is it to reopen those borders to skilled migrants on December 15?
Well, it's really important that we open the borders when it's safe to do so. And we took what I think was a precautionary measure, a sensible measure, it's one that's had bipartisan support, to put the pause on for 2 weeks. I don't think it's a radical action. I think it's a proportionate one. At the same time, we're looking to open our borders as soon as it's safe to do so. We've already made some adjustments for Australian citizens and residents. But Kieran,
so you're hoping December 15 will be the resumption?
Well, obviously that will depend on the medical advice, but some of the early signs are positive. We're obviously focused on the transmissibility of this new variant, the severity of this new variant, and the ability of vaccines to be a defence against this new variant. But again, I come back to the labour market and unemployment. When we came to government, unemployment was 5.7%. Today it's 5.2%, even after the first recession in nearly 30 years. And we've got the RBA forecasting that the unemployment rate will go down into the 4s at a sustained level for only the second time in half a century. You know, we've avoided the scarring of the labour market with long-term unemployment that was so characteristic of the recessions in the 1980s and the 1990s. We've avoided that,
so
and our economic support has played a big role.
But you say the lockdown's a bit behind us, but we don't know that, do we? We hope so, but we don't know that because this virus is diabolical.
Well, the Delta lockdowns are behind us, and obviously with the vaccination rates higher than ever, and also one of the highest in the world, it does augur well for the future.
Now, one of the huge issues hitting people's budgets, personal budgets, is petrol prices. Can you do anything about that? Because right now, we're heading into Christmas, people are going to be driving all over the country, and those petrol prices will bite.
Well, of course, higher petrol prices goes to the heart of people's disposable income. They often have no other choice but to get to and from work and obviously courier around their family.
Are you helpless in dealing with that?
Well, we have the ACCC as a cop on the beat to ensure that competition law is upheld and that there's no cartel behaviour and no manipulation of the price. International factors are most often at play here when it comes to petrol prices.
So there's not a lot you can do.
Because of the supply issues and because of some of the big producers.
So people just have to grin and bear it, I guess.
Well, what we saw in today's numbers was that household disposable income had lifted, and if you talk about energy prices more broadly, electricity prices are down by 10% since December 2018. They doubled under Labor. Since December 18, they're down by 10% under us.
A couple of other quick issues that I've got to ask you about. The story we're running this afternoon. Were you aware that a friend of the Prime Minister, Scott Briggs, was involved in setting up a private quarantine proposal to run next year with his company's scoping costs picked up by the Department of Home Affairs?
Well, those matters in relation to quarantine are matters that come under Home Affairs, so you're best directing that to the relevant minister.
But we've been told the Home Affairs Secretary said in a call with business organisations that the Prime Minister, Treasurer and the government were very interested in this private quarantine proposal. Is that a fair characterisation?
Well, Kieran, you know better that you don't believe everything you hear. I certainly know better than to believe everything I hear from a journalist. I don't know what Mike Pizzullo said. No, I don't know what Mike Pizzullo said on that call. You're best directing those questions to the Home Affairs Minister.
And finally, your great mate, the Health Minister, Mr Hunt, sounds like he might be calling it a day.
Well, I'll leave any comments on such matters to Greg himself. He is a great mate. We're the godfather to each other's children. He has been an outstanding health minister during this once-in-a-century pandemic. The fact that Australia has one of the lowest fatality rates in the world and one of the highest vaccination rates in the world is a real credit to him.
Treasurer, I appreciate your time as always. Thank you.
Thank you.